since we're like now back in Japan, and it feels weird actually having like a weekly schedule, but being able to talk about things that we're not gonna be releasing like 5 months in the future.
That's true. Yeah.
It's only like we're only 2 weeks behind nowadays.
Yeah,
so
we're talking about current events.
I can clown on Twitter and it won't be like horrendously outdated when this comes out.
Man, I had a trip to Kyushu with Chris, and man, people are so chill in Kyushu. I feel like they were definitely way more chill than up north.
You think?
Yeah?
I feel like the vibes, people are just so friendly
Yeah.
down south. Miyazaki, everyone was chatting. Every time I went to a store or anything, everyone was really chatty, really nice. It was just good vibes. Kyushu's so fun.
How are the tourists there?
I didn't see any tourists in Kyushu.
Okay.
Okay, so we went to get the doing this video. We had to go on the bullet train to get to this point.
Yeah.
And didn't see any tourists in Kyushu.
Yeah.
I saw like a few tourists, international tourists that were in like a very scenic place, Takachi Gorge or something. What is it? Takachiho Gorge. Takachiho Gorge. It's beautiful gorge.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It's a gorge. And there's a lot of tourists there, but that was a very big tourist spot.
Yeah.
That was the only place I saw tourists. The only other time I saw a ton of tourists is like, I keep forgetting this is a huge tourist spot.
Yeah.
So we're on the bullet train. No tourists. Next stop, no tourists. Next stop, no tourists. Stop in Hiroshima. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I've never seen so many white people get on a train in Japan. As somebody who's lived here, bro, I've never seen that many white people get on a train at once. Like it was like all the white people came on single file the whole time for about like a good like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
No Japanese people. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess now that I'm thinking about it, you guys came at a time where it was right before the pandemic.
Yeah, we came
happened.
right.
So you guys haven't experienced like the full
normal Japan.
I didn't realize how
tourism invasion.
how huge of a tourist destination Hiroshima was.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm finding this.
Obviously, I know people want to go and see the memorials and all the history behind that, but I didn't realize it was like I saw more people getting on that train than I did in Tokyo, which is like I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
I feel kind of bad now because like we've talked about on Trash Taste so many times. Just like Japan, open up the borders, right? And then now that everything's bustling and everything's like busy again, I'm like, man, fuck all the tourists, man. They ain't the real ones.
No, so
they don't know the struggle, man.
The frustration I think that Ghana has is that it's annoying when. Because you look like this, and you look like this, and you look like this. Yeah. Everyone just assumes you're a tourist, which is fine, but sometimes you're talking Japanese, and then they refuse to talk Japanese back to you.
Yeah. Well, like we briefly touched on this last week, and I would like to say as a disclaimer, yes, that does make me a hypocrite.
It's like, my brother, you are the anointed foreigner.
Like, I don't, because like, I just realized there's a few things, right? Some of my like some of the spots I used to go, like to go to like and have like a little bit of peace and quiet and stuff like that. Now it's just like overrun. Like some of my favorite restaurants, like it's
how dare they?
How dare they?
How dare tourists enjoy things in Japan?
It's the little things, now when I want to go to some of my favorite restaurants, before I was like, like there was, if I wanted to book a restaurant, there was like zero chance it would ever be full or rejected. And how dare restaurants be like having a bustling business now and not cater to my exact needs of when I want to eat? What the fuck is up with that?
So
how dare Japan finally have a thriving economy?
How dare they?
I mean, obviously, very minute complaints. Overall, I'm pretty fucking hyped that tourists are back. It feels more alive. Japan feels so much more.
Oh, absolutely.
But we went to Golden Guy.
Yeah.
And Golden Guy, I love Golden Guy. I feel like it's got a certain vibe you can't really get anywhere else. So I think it's a cool vibe. I mean, I hadn't really gone much outside of pandemic. And now,
because most of the time it wasn't open.
Yeah, now I was in like I'd only really gone a lot during the later half of the pandemic. So I thought it was great because there wasn't many tourists and it was chill. And I'd been to Golden Guy before as a tourist, and I forgot how tourist heavy Golden Guy is. So Golden Guy, if you don't know what it is, it's basically this like, I don't know. It's got like 100, 200, 300, some insane amount of bars packed into a tiny alleyway system, and it's like there is tens and tens of bars on like a 20-meter strip, and they all hold maybe like 4 to 6 people max.
Yep.
Sometimes even less.
Yeah.
And we were there the other day, and oh my God, the amount of times he got recognized, it was so awkward because Golden Guy's tiny, right? So it's like, imagine there's 4 seats in a bar, and then like 3, maybe like tourists or fans who recognize us, they try and come in, and the owner's like, bro, what the fuck? There's only 1 seat. Get out. And we're like, oh, no, God, no, we're being a nuisance because people are trying to come in and sit with us. And it's like, no, you can't come in. There's only 1 seat. Stop.
It also doesn't help that because these bars are so small, a lot of them don't have doors.
Yeah,
so people can just kind of walk along and like look
They're, like,
into
taking
places.
pictures of us.
And they're like taking pictures of us from outside the bars and stuff, which is fine. Like, we don't really care, but like, we're just like, oh, we don't want to be a nuisance to like.
I felt bad for the bar.
The bartender,
It's more like the bartender because we didn't want to like be a nuisance to the bar, like the bartender.
A lot of them are very quiet, very chill vibes.
But luckily though, the bar that we went to, the bartender was fun looking and having a good time. He was like, "Oh, that's hilarious. What's that?"
I actually used to love going there a lot to speak Japanese and kind of try and improve my terrible Japanese. So it was really fun for that. But I don't know how easy that'll be.
Yeah, it's not so much bad as it is just a mentality shift, right? Yeah. Because for the longest time, Japan had just been the place where you can just. You didn't have to like think about getting recognized or something. You didn't have to like, that wasn't even like a thought in your mind. You're just like, oh, this is just normal. And now, especially going to like heavily touristy places like Golden Guy or other places like that, your mentality has to switch to be like, oh, I'm in anime convention mode, kind of, where you kind of like
we're ready to take a picture.
Yeah. You're kind of like, maybe someone here will know me, maybe not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't,
I mean, I would still argue that it's still not as bad because for the most part, Japanese people, if it's a full-on Japanese person, like they won't know who you are, right?
Oh no, yeah.
So like, it's not like we're fucking getting swarmed every 5 minutes or anything like that. But
just certain areas will get recognized a lot more.
Just like I said, just certain very touristy areas.
Oh my God,
Akihabara.
I miss the days when I could go to Akihabara and not get recognized.
Yeah. I haven't been to Akihabara since Japan opened, so I wonder what it's like.
I haven't been there.
Good luck.
That should be interesting.
You're probably gonna get recognized at the station.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm sure. I don't mind. It's just different. Like it's
like I said, it's just mentality shift.
In general, I'm really happy that things feel like they're slowly being more active.
The city feels alive again.
Yeah, it feels like stuff is slowly... Yeah, it's crazy to think that it took this long, but like even bars are being a bit more, being a bit more lively and opening up a bit more, and it's cool to see.
Yeah,
just how like one announcement just kind of changed the game.
Yeah. It's like I complained last week about taxi drivers refusing to speak Japanese to me, but I will say like taxi drivers also seem way more enthusiastic now.
Yeah,
have you noticed that as well?
Yeah,
they've seen way more enthusiastic and way more like talkative and stuff like that. And I don't know. It seems like not just like the tourists has reinvigorated the city, but even like the locals. You go to the restaurants and you go to businesses again, and they seem way more, I guess, alive.
There's been a real big struggle right now because they're short on taxi drivers now.
Oh, really?
They need more taxi drivers. They need more staff for hotels.
Right.
Apparently, flights are like fully booked.
Oh,
into Japan because people are just like, I'm going. I'm going.
I waited 3 years for this shit. I'm going.
Yeah. And like it's pretty crazy now. But like think about it in one sense that the biggest foreign tourist in Japan is China.
Yeah.
And China, they can't leave yet.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be.
So we haven't actually experienced
like
the
full wave, bro. And
this is just the first wave.
Yeah.
We haven't met the final boss yet.
But you can tell.
This is phase 1 of the boss battle, guys.
It's interesting though. I will say, not only have flight prices like tripled, even more in some cases because they were pretty much like free.
Yeah.
Hotel prices in Tokyo, I've noticed have gone up.
Really?
For sure. Yeah, they've gone up quite a lot.
I'm not surprised by that.
Like way more than I'm used to. Now I have to like recalibrate how much I think hotels are in Tokyo because the demand has gone insane.
Yeah.
But they still have quarantine hotels.
Really?
Do they?
Yeah, there's because you can tell which hotel's quarantine because 1, it's an APA hotel, and 2, you'll see it's like cordoned off at the front and there'll be a security guard outside.
Right.
And they still have them.
Right.
And it's kind of like, didn't realize we still needed quarantine hotels. I suppose we do.
Apparently we do.
Yeah, I don't know. I interesting.
Yeah.
But I wonder why if the hotels want that. I wonder the government must be paying an absurd amount of money.
Oh, I'm sure.
For these hotels to want them to keep being quarantine hotels.
Yeah.